Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna continue Cuphead. So, let's get into it. Okay, so our first boss today is actually Baroness von Bonbon. Now, one of my viewers said in my stream, I've been stuck on Baroness von Bonbon for 2 months now, and I said, okay, well, Baroness von Bonbon isn't that difficult, so I decided to retry her again, and also, I needed to warm up a little bit before we get into some new bosses and possibly a running gun. Okay, so our first actual boss today is Wally Warbles. So Wally Warbles has, I think, four main phases, and he has two attacks in the first phase. His two attacks in the first phase is he shoots out eggs that explode into three pieces across the screen. His second attack is turning his head into a gun in a number 3 and shooting out 3 bullets. Honestly, the first phase is pretty easy. And as you can see, we just entered the second phase. Now the second phase is a little bit harder because his only attack this phase is rapidly shaking his body, I guess, and releasing a bunch of spiky feathers. Now, I honestly find this phase just to be a little more difficult than his first phase. Because his first phase wasn't that hard, but also this phase wasn't that hard either, for me at least. But now we are on to his third phase. His third phase, he turns into a baby bird, or I guess his son. But basically, he turns into a mini version of himself, and he has spiky eggs circling around him while he's also flying around. And one of his attacks is a ray gun that you can parry. Honestly, I don't find this boss to be extremely hard. When I was doing it on stream, one of my friends said, or at least he told me before streaming when he was attempting it, that this was the hardest boss that he has fought so far. And when I attempted it on stream, I seemed to do really good. And I don't know if that's because I was in a good mood, or maybe I was just particularly playing well that day, but this boss just didn't seem that difficult to me. Especially the first and second phase. He showed me the night before I'm recording this and I live streamed, but he showed me the night before and he's like, yep, this is what I have to deal with. And I was like, yeah, this is a lot, man. But now that I actually play it, this second phase and the first phase wasn't so bad after all. Because I think he was mostly emphasizing that the second phase is really difficult to do. But I just didn't find it to be that difficult. Honestly, I think he's just bad at the game, but that's okay. Not everybody is good at Cuphead. Anyways, with this last super, this should finish him off. And you thought I was probably gonna cut it right there. Nope, there's 4 phases. And unfortunately, I died to this blue bird because I still needed to learn his attacks. So, with a few attempts later, we finally got back to the 4th phase, and I actually decided to lock in, although I did have 4 HP right here, which was the max amount. Unfortunately, I lost one, and hold on, now that I look at it, I don't even think anything hit me right there. Anyway, with that one parry, I hit a super, and that's a knockout. I forgot his name, I'm so sorry. Anyway, that boss defeated. On to the next one. And here's a slow down clip. You can see the bird spit the pill. The pill breaks off. I go down. Not even close. Look, right here. Come on, Cuphead. And our next boss is going to be... It's a run and gun. So today I decided, let's try to defeat this run and gun, since I haven't made a video about one before. And I've played this run and gun multiple times before, but one thing I didn't know is that you could actually parry this balloon. And I missed all my parries right there. That's really embarrassing. But I decided to get the parries right here. And you can look in the bottom left corner. I found out that that balloon specifically will get you 5 cards or a card each parry. So you can parry that balloon 5 times and get your super. Cuphead, please don't fix this. Anyway, I decided to do a running gun this time because I wanted to switch it up. I also needed coins for the item I wanted to buy from the shop. Now, I kind of choked right here because I decided to do the input where you can fall through the platform, and that got me killed. So I decided to start a few more runs. And just one run later, we got past our previous best. So we moved on. And and I was honestly just looking for the coins. I was just looking for the coins. I wasn't really looking to beat this level just for the coins. So I really tried to focus and lock in, but unfortunately, for some reason, if you get too close to this enemy's hitbox, then it won't register any of the hits. Now, I was kind of confused right here because it took so many hits to kill this enemy, but we defeated him pretty easily. Now we move on to the platforming part, and I honestly think this is the worst part of this level. Not the balloon part, not the cannonball part, this part. Because these pretzels are so fucking annoying. When I say annoying, I mean really annoying. And that death wasn't because of the pretzel, it was because I decided to walk off of the platform. And one attempt later, I got back to where I was previously. Now, I decided to use my super here because I just couldn't deal with these fucking pretzels. But I eventually made it to the hot dog that was spewing the relish, mustard, and ketchup, and defeated the hot dog, and completed the run and gun. And I got the 3 coins that I needed. So I decided to go to the shop and spend the 3 coins on something that my friend recommended, the lobber and the smoke bomb. Well, I wasn't able to buy the smoke bomb just yet, so I decided to go farm a few more run and gun levels from the past that I didn't fully complete. So I got a coin from talking to this guy, and I was able to buy the smoke bomb that I needed. So I decided to go back to Inkwell Isle 1 and get this coin in between the trees, go into the run and gun level Treetop Trouble and get this coin that you have to parry off a bug to get, and grab this coin that you have to jump off of this wooden platform to get. And then you have to platform on these 2 and get on this wooden log so you can get this coin. Unfortunately, I took 1 HP worth of damage here, which was fine because all I needed to do was to do this skip right here. And there we go. We finished the level and got 3 more coins. Then I decided to go to the run and gun level Forest Follies to get the 2 coins that I was missing. This coin behind this falling flower right here, and this coin that you have to parry off this spiked floating ball to get. By the way, I'm sorry for in the last couple of voiceover clips, I kind of faded away. That's because I moved away from my mic before it was actually done recording. And just like that, we finished the run and gun level Forest Follies. On to the next one. And with all that coin grinding done, I ultimately decide to buy the coffee, because the coffee will help us get more EXs and supers in against the upcoming bosses. And actually, huge shout out to Easy Speezy, because I watched his 100% speedrun of Cuphead, and I remember that there's a hidden coin behind this cart right here. I then decide to go buy the charge shot for the upcoming boss that you'll see in a few moments. And our next boss is Grim Matchstick. So Grim Matchstick has a total of 4 phases. His first phase consisting of 1 attack, the eye beams, that are parryable, one of them is, and then his second phase having 2 attacks, 3 attacks. 3 attacks with him trying to spear you with his tail, him breathing out fireballs, and finally the eye lasers. Now fortunately, I defeated Grim Matchstick's, I guess 2 phases right here, but I unfortunately died in the next phase. I'll just let you guys watch. and fortunately I was able to defeat Grim Matchstick's 3rd phase. Now we are on to his 4th, where he grows 2 extra heads from... I don't even know where. He grows 2 extra heads from nowhere, but he has... I don't actually know how many attacks he has, because if each head has an attack, then I haven't seen most of them. But one attack that they all do is they shoot fireballs at you, and if you shoot the fireball, then it explodes in 4 different directions, the sides, up, and down. Now the middle head has 1 attack, and it's a flamethrower attack. Unfortunately, I died right here, so close to the end. And with many more attempts, I get back to this 4th phase. Now I am on 1 HP and decide to lock in, use a few EXs, shoot him a couple more times, and that's a knockout. And that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. And can you do me a real quick favor? Go down and look at this subscribe button. Whenever I say subscribe, it lights up. So please, like, comment, subscribe, and share if you like this kind of content. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye!